I want to talk. I'm sitting here with Brad Williams and Jeff Dye, both comedians.
Allegedly,
road dogs. We're the road dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like,
and you guys, I feel like, are both of the first guys who have gone and performed live comedy since this whole thing.
Yeah,
we
I
were
headlined Wise Guys this weekend.
Yeah, and I was.
And you're there next weekend, right?
Yeah, and I was at.
Not virtually. We flew there.
We did the whole thing, and
so crazy.
I was at Bricktown
Really?
Comedy in Oklahoma City. So yeah,
Explain to me. Yeah, I was at Wise Guys in Salt Lake City.
It just
Explain to me why it's crazy.
Well, I guess my first. I guess like. I don't have any fear of like people coming to the event. I didn't have any my thoughts anyway. I didn't have any thoughts about that. I had thoughts about like as a comedian being on stage, since there's going to be less people in the audience.
Yeah.
Would I feel like bummed out? Would I feel like this isn't the same? Like would I feel like? And then I started thinking from a business standpoint, like, okay, well, is this business even going to make enough money? Like, are these waitresses going to make enough money tonight? Like,
I'll tell you who didn't make enough money: the comedian.
Yeah. Well, that's another
now
thing.
they've got a reason to go, hey man, we have a limited audience.
Yeah.
So it's only we have to cap them out at 100. I can't like work a bonus deal or anything like that. So that was it. But the waitresses made great money.
They did.
Yeah.
Yes, because everyone's audiences, and you guys will both know this, and maybe anyone that listens that isn't a comedian, you might not know, but audiences are famously, and more so than ever now that podcasts are blowing up. People didn't used to know comedians. They just went to the Improv and they'd maybe hope to see one famous person, and then all the other comedians, they'd be like, this is great. I would say in the last 8 years I've witnessed, with the success of you and Segura and basically everyone that's on this wall, is now people, if they haven't seen you before, they're like, who's this guy? I've never heard of him. And then the vibe shifts to this weird, like, make me laugh, bitch. Like, that's the vibe, where I'm unfunny till proven funny. And then it kind of is like, oh, he is funny. And I have never even heard of him because I listen to all the podcasts. I'm shocked that someone is funny that I don't know, right? Whereas that totally changed.
Yeah.
This weekend, dude, people were so generous. Like, one dude tipped our server like $200.
Wow.
That's all awesome. These people were gushing to me like, oh my God, thank you. So they were just so happy. I was crushing on like throwaway lines. Like, so it was very generous.
Yeah.
Did you feel, what were some of you guys' fears going into it before we even talk about what the weekends were like? Like, did you have any like just, or thoughts, even just thoughts?
Yeah. I wasn't worried about the shows, and in terms of like, you look out in the audience and it sounds different because it's at a third capacity or half capacity or whatever it is. My philosophy is, okay, or I could stay home and there's no show. There's no one getting laughs. There's nothing, So, and yeah, you're not gonna just flip a switch and we all come back and it's exactly the way it was.
Right.
We gotta
acclimate,
gradually get into it, and kind of test the waters a little bit, and then if it's good, then we'll move up to the next level. I was more worried about the travel than anything. That, and it was for me like the worst part for me wasn't the shows. I love the shows. The audiences, much like you said, were great. They were so starved for content. They wanted to go out. They wanted to have fun. But traveling, that was weird because you had to wear the mask the whole time, which when you go to the grocery store, it's like, okay, it's an hour. But when I'm flying to Oklahoma City, that's 6 hours of
you don't realize how many snacks you try to sneak in there. How many times to drinks.
Yeah, like that's 6 hours of wearing a mask, and then like
back of my ears are hurting.
Yeah, and like they're not serving food on the plane, so you got like if it's a long flight, you're like, okay, I gotta snack up before I get on.
And were the seats spaced out on your flights more? Was there something like that?
Southwest was. American Airlines did not give a.
You're too famous to fly Southwest, Brad. First of all. This guy's flying Southwest. You're killing it, man.
I've been on there.
Famous for Southwest.
It was $98.
Hey, you got to.
So I flew from LAX to Salt Lake City, and then Salt Lake City to Seattle to LAX because they canceled all these like legs of flights.
Right.
A longer trip home. There was nobody in the airports, nobody on my flight. That was kind of eerie, but that's pretty safe. I mean, like if I see no people, I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
Also, I will say, and I know this is gonna annoy all the liberal New York comedians that I'm gonna say this, but I dealt with it pretty like selfishly. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, I'm not afraid. I want to go tell jokes. I'm wearing the mask out of respect for others. If you want to come hug me, I don't give a shit. Like I'm so.
Well, and also I
don't care.
For you personally, you're in that group that, according to the science, it's like you should be fine.
Right.
You don't have an immune problem. You're a healthy guy. You got a big dick. Like you.
Well, I will say the people that come to my shows, obviously seem to not care either.
Right.
And I don't, so if they get me sick or I get them sick, fuck them.
Yeah, if they come out, that's the thing.
They came out.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm not hurting Graham. She's at home.
Right.
and I know that that's a selfish take, and I'm admitting that I'm selfish because I just want to get back to comedy so bad.
Yeah.
And I'm so tired of being at my house with my dog. I tried to do one of those virtual shows, had a great time, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah, I did.
And
a few of
so
those too.
I
It
need
was
to.
weird.
I needed it. I needed to I need my hotel rooms. I need to flirt with girls. I need to tell jokes.
Yeah.
I needed some sort of semblance of what I'm used to.
Whenever you got to the club, like, did you feel like did they seem really, really excited to like be back in business?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they were stoked, and the wait staff was stoked because they had a job. You know,
Yeah.
and that's like,
People were happy, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, I'll respect anyone's wishes if they want to stay home, if they want to go out, whatever. But like, I understand when you say, oh, all the restaurants are closed. There's some people there that just they can't hunker down for 3-4 months and then be fine. Like their rent is due. They got to buy food. They got to do all these things. Like, so I respect that if you're like, no, I have to go work. So
But also, we weren't at a
that.
beach. Like,
Yeah.
like laying on each other and sweating and kissing and stuff. I was at a comedy club and that literally like everybody that came in had to get their temperature taken.
Yep.
okay.
They had
Yep,
their
mine
hands
too.
sanitized.
Really?
They had to wear masks to come in. They had to wear their mask on the way out. When they get sat at their table, the tables are 6 feet apart. Right? There's no party larger than 4.
Mm-hmm.
Each comic had their own separate microphone that
Yep.
were sanitized in between the
Wow.
show. So I mean, there's a safe
And
way
did
to
you-
do this.
Did you bring your mic from? You didn't
I
bring.
jokingly brought a mic from home to do like gag that I used to do this gag where
This is gonna be This is gonna be bad. Sorry.
yeah, it was
I'm joking,
it
go
was
on.
bad. Well, actually, I'll tell you, it was
tell me,
it's
it might
funny
be good.
once. If you see me at the store and then you see me do it again in the improv, you're like, I just saw this idiot.
Yeah.
Do this. So the joke is like I would come out. I did this way before the quarantine. I would come out and I would like look like I was like disgusted with like the microphone, and I would like take it out and then put it on the table, and then I'd pull out like gold microphone out of my back pocket, and pop it in, and just act like, and then everyone like laughed because they were like so confused by me doing the first part.
Right.
And then I'd be like, yeah, you know they don't clean those things, and it just makes me look like this elitist kind of
Oh,
guy.
I like that.
The problem with that bit is it's hilarious if I'm following like that, Drew, that stuttering guy, or if I'm following, Theo or something. But if I'm following like Miss Pat and I just come out and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I just like now the crowd's like, what the hell was that, man?
yeah.
Is this dude like a racist? Like, so that's why I had to
Yeah.
stop. I stopped doing it. I basically
Bobby Lee does it. You're like, you know those people.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
You know those people that aren't welcome at the VFW. You know what I'm talking about?
And I'm so dumb that I didn't put that together. I was just like, why did nobody laugh this time?
Yeah.
Like, dude, you look like an asshole. And so I stopped doing it. But then I was
Because
like,
Jamar Neighbors went on before you, and now you look like a piece of shit.
I'm so dumb I didn't even connect it. So I brought that same mic and did the same gag each show for this.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, because there was 4 mics for all, and I said, take one of those mics down, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend like they didn't leave me a mic, and I'm just gonna have to like do the gag that I brought my own.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like you said, like there's precautions that you could take, so it's definitely like it's not. Yes, the safest thing would be to just stay in your homes and throw a blanket over
Sure.
you and never leave your house. Yeah, that's the safest thing, but there are ways to do these shows that it's like, okay, yeah. take temperature, stay spread apart, and no one was sat at a table with someone they didn't know. So like,
Wow.
so it's like, yeah, if you came in the same car together, you sat at the same
And
table
I have
together.
coronavirus, and I feel fine, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what the big hubbub is,
What else at the place? So I didn't even think about the mics. So the microphones on stage.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to think like, yeah, to me, did it feel like you guys were pioneers? Like, did you guys feel like, holy shit, like.
I didn't think I was until I got back. I posted. You didn't post yours.
I post on Instagram.
I posted all mine on
yeah.
all the stuff. Just say, hey, I'm out. Comedy's back. Let's do this. Come to the shows. Let's have a good time. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I must have gotten, and I'm not exaggerating, probably 40 comics either text or called the next day.
Looking for work? Looking to
No,
get the.
saying, what was that like? Or,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
I heard.
Yeah, that happened to me
Everybody.
too. Yeah.
I've never, any Letterman's never called my phone in my life.
Yeah.
We'll do snotty texts back and forth. Like
Sure.
I'm like stoned at a hotel and Annie Letterman's
Yeah,
calling.
she's great to sext with, even though neither one of y'all's gonna hook up with each other. Annie, I'm no joke. Annie's great for that. Annie
I didn't know that.
She just loves like fun
Yeah,
conversations,
it's
so you
good.
can like.
That's great.
You can
You're
send
like,
her
can I
horrible
just
things.
practice sexting
Oh,
with you?
yeah.
I
You
was
know?
bad on the phone with her because I was just going like, whoa. Like I was like kind of like I didn't expect anyone to call. I don't know. I shouldn't even have answered.
Yeah, I got a few comics calling me too, and
that's
it's
weird.
like you guys know that it's just like it's comedy, right?
the same.
Like it was.
It was the same.
It was the same. Yeah, there's a few less people. I was more bummed that like in between shows or during the daytime, I couldn't walk around and like do things in the city.
I did do that.
I was bummed about that.
I did that, but it was just the same as kind of California, like where I walked to like a coffee shop. I was able to have coffee there. I like sat in like this park. There was a bar that had like an open patio you could sit on.
Oh, there you go.
So that was kind of nice. And I was giddy. I wouldn't shut up. I was sitting with two friends.
Yeah.
And I just like was motor mouth, because I was so excited to be back, like in the
Doing
sunshine on a
stuff.
patio with like a cold
With
beer and
people.
like food, and I was like being able to just do.
Yeah.
Because I've been in my house, man. It's boring.
Yeah.
And you were in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and that was rough because that club, it's a great club. It's in the middle of this downtown area called Bricktown, and like I got sad walking around during the day because it's like there's a minor league baseball park right there where
the Redbirds, what is it?
Oklahoma City Dodgers play,
Cool.
and then the Thunder Stadium is right there too, and there's a big movie theater, there's a river walk, there's all this stuff. I'm like, wow, if this was all open, this would have been, I could have gone to a baseball game during the day, come a day early, see the Thunder play, see a movie. Like it would have been a whole great weekend. So that club's going to be fantastic once everything starts opening up again. It's going to be great. But
Who owns the club?
the same
Adam Norwest?
Yeah.
That's that club.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the same people that do Tacoma.
It looked like they packed them kind of in on yours. I saw a picture of the show. Because I couldn't
I'm
find any of the stuff. I was looking for yours.
Yeah.
Like when he told me you did, I was like, Brad didn't go on the road. Because I knew we talked about you going to Wise Guys.
Yeah, going.
Yeah,
And
'cause
so
you're
I
headed
was
there
like, well,
this
who
week.
was he there?
Yeah.
And so I was looking for it, and I only could find like a dude tagged you in a photo from like the back green room area.
Yeah.
Like where the seats were.
Yeah.
Were you
no.
nervous about putting it on social media?
I was. I put it on Instagram because that's people that follow you, that like they like you, they love you. I didn't put it on Twitter because I was nervous that someone would start retweeting it. And then
I was hoping
start
someone would start with
calling me an asshole
just
for going
begging
out
you,
and
go ahead,
earning my
fucking-
goddamn living.
Go ahead, Nikki
Yeah.
Glazer, talking about being you're such a hero for staying home with your parents. Go ahead, come at me. Oh, how heroic. You millionaire, you haven't had sex for 2 months. Get a life.
Well,
You could do Nikki, you do grosser things all the time, bragging about anal sex.
That's a
You're
good-
worried about a virus nobody's
That's a
ever
good point,
seen.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, wear a face mask on your beehole, dude, if you want to really take care of
No, like
of others.
there's some sort of weird like heroic, like, oh, we're such heroes.
There is. Well, I noticed too that there's this thing where I think a lot of people want you to stay home because it gives them, and I'm not saying this about Nikki, but just it gives them a sense of control and a sense of like, okay, I don't have to do anything. Nobody can do anything.
right.
There's the photo.
It keeps them in a safe space.
Yeah, that's the one I was referring to.
Yeah.
They look
that's
pretty
you-
close to each other.
Wow, that's nice, man.
Yeah. It's,
Well, they only look close to each other compared to where I played, I guess.
well, that, and it's like, okay, I mean, I'll tell you that from the stage, this is a weird angle because yes,
Yeah.
it looks very close to each other, but it's like those photos of the beach where they're like so and so's on the beach, you know, all the people, and then if you really zoom in, you're like, oh no, people are separate.
Yeah.
Like they're not like throwing a towel like on top of each other.
Or like in the
doing
NFL,
shit.
they always air the game from the side, so it looks like those linemen are right next to each other. But if there was like a bird's eye view, or if
Right.
it was north to south,
Yeah,
you'd
there's
see that there's
2
gaps.
feet.
for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing.
there's gaps.
It's kinda-
So
Yeah, or like whenever you catch a fish, remember if you caught a fish and you put it in the back of a fake truck, remember, and took that picture? You're like, look at this big fish, and it was just a little fish.
That's
yeah,
my favorite
but
example.
dude, it was great, and they
My
all
grandfather
had
used to do that.
they all had a great time, and it was just so like I got so many messages afterward. From
everyone's wanting to know.
Yeah, and just
All my
people just-
scared friends going,
yeah, and it's
you're
like,
doing that?
Yeah, it's almost like you guys are almost like the Neil Armstrong and whoever and Buzz Aldrin, I feel like, of comedy. I'm not even joking, man.
Yeah.
It was like, I was like, oh my God, because I've been taking a break from having guests on the podcast, just been really tired. And so,
Yeah.
but I was like, oh my God, I said, I just have to know about this.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think
That's Brad.
yeah, there we go.
Oh, nice. That's a good shot.
I'm up there. Yeah, because I didn't do a meet and greet afterward, so I had a moment where I was like, all right, everyone. Take out your phones, and I'm gonna do some poses on the stage, so you can like have a
that's
photo
funny.
and post on your social media.
great.
Because I didn't want to do a meet and greet, so I started like grabbing the mic stand and like doing stuff that I would never do actually during my act. And I thought, social distancing, I'll just wave a mic stand around my face.
And
you must be strong, man. Those mic stands are heavy.
they are pretty heavy.
Little
And
compact biceps.
I also want to go in and was Brad Williams comic at Brad Williams comic was amazing, funny as hell for someone so little.
What does that mean?
That's the comment. Funny as hell for someone so little. What do you think? A tiny person telling jokes isn't going to be good?
I thought his
Like,
jokes.
damn, man.
I thought
How'd
the
they-
laughs would be 1/3 of.
How'd they fit all the funny in that little guy?
Yeah, man.
Damn.
I mean, he's tiny. I didn't think a tiny guy would be funny. God
I
bless
will
you,
admit my
Oklahoma.
meet and greet got irresponsible.
Did it?
Because
Yeah.
you know I'm talking a big game on stage, acting like I don't care. I'm doing all these jokes about how like I was like I didn't get my coronavirus from some millennial sneezing on me in an Uber. When I heard about it, I ordered bats. I ate a bat. That's what I did. I want it from the source. I got it
Yeah.
the right way. So I'm doing all
Right.
these like, and that's riling them up a little, you know. And so it's riling them up in the worst way. Where they're like, yeah, fuck these masks. What do we, you know?
Yeah,
and like
right,
that's
right,
the
right.
worst. That's irresponsible. But I was just doing comedy. And then afterwards at the meet and greet, they're like, hey, can we get a photo with you? And I was like, yeah, you want a mask or no mask? And they're like, dude, we don't care about that. And they're like all touching. Like it did get a little.
Yeah.
Oh, so then
irresponsible.
but do you
Start
get
having some
nervous at that
whiskey.
point a little?
No, I don't care.
Then the guys was like starting to lick your face and stuff. That,
Well, it's the
that,
same-
that was a little inappropriate.
It's the same thing I thought as earlier. It's like they're obviously, you know, if they get sick, they get sick.
Yeah.
That's on them.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like it's definitely become, I think, a lot of people that are. It's like, you know, am I risking getting sick, or am I just? Do I think that this thing has kind of run its course? Do I feel like we've done everything that we can, is like by flattening the curve? It's always kind of 2 weeks. You know, every time they say like, oh, 2 weeks
Yeah.
to this, 2 weeks to that.
I think you just got to make your decision.
Yeah.
It's like, I would never judge anyone for wearing gloves out in public and doing the mask and like keeping it. I think that's great. I think
Yeah.
that's awesome. If you don't want to do that, you know, like what's that one guy? God? He gave us like free will.
Yeah.
And we love that about him. We love that he lets us do whatever.
Well, like-
whatever the consequences are.
Right, yeah, that's the way that I feel a lot of times. I'm still going to be smart and wise. I've always had, I feel like, decent instincts, so I'm going to trust my instincts.
Yeah, and like my parents are both like 75, and my dad's immune compromised. He should not be
Right.
going out and
And
doing
if
the
you're going to
thing.
go hang out with them, you shouldn't be.
Exactly.
Right.
I should go get tested,
Exactly.
or I should
But-
if grandma's living with you at your house, then you have a different responsibility.
Yeah.
So we're not saying like everyone just go out, but if you're young, healthy, 30-year-old, 20-year-old, and you're like, I want to go just have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, and there was
responsible.
very few times someone was in like my bubble.
Right.
To be
Yeah.
honest, like if I look over the entire weekend, there was very few times that anyone
Yeah.
was even that close to me.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, there
fun.
really is actually. Whenever you go to a comedy club, there really aren't a lot of times, except for when you're in the green room with other comics. There's not a lot of times, and if you don't do meet and greet, then there's not a lot of times where you interact like too
Yeah.
close with other
Right.
people. Really, you come out on stage.
Yep.
I mean, you're almost really the safest person in the room in a lot of ways.
As the comedian.
That was my thought. And I even when I was doing my show, I even tried to be at the back of the stage because I thought, if I talk
Spit.
and like I
Yeah.
spit out, and because I've done that before where I've been on stage and I've said something and I watched the spittle
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh, yeah, I've
fly
said
out of
that
my
a bunch.
face, and it's like, oh, that's going right in
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
that guy's getting that.
I had one guy walk on the Friday early show because we had all the microphones out there, three of them, I guess, because
Yeah.
I told him to strike one of them and then I used the thing. And so the other two microphones are just behind me with the things in. And I'm saying like, right, guys, are we really that scared? Even the people that are the most scared, who claim that they're the most scared of this, they're all at home going, "Oh, did you watch Tiger King?" and singing, sending each other like big black eyed dick memes. Like nobody's really that afraid. If this is the end of the world, like no one seems to really be that scared. And so the people are like, you know, cheering. Whatever. And so I go, right, we're not afraid. And I just started palming the other mics, like of the other comics, like mics, like with my bare hand.
Well, that's also because you're in Utah.
In Utah, and that basketball player Rudy
Gay.
No, not
Rudy
Rudy Gay.
Gobert.
Rudy Gobert did it.
Gobert, Rudy
and so
Gay,
I thought it would be funny, like to do like a thing like that. Also, they sanitize those mics in between, and I'm the last guy, so that we're
Yeah.
gonna sanitize those
You're
anyways. So I thought it was funny. Everyone's like having a laugh, and this dude was fucking furious. He like stood up, he like went to the front. He's like, "What is he doing in there?" I mean, this is the whole thing, is that we were doing this like responsibly, and he's doing all that. And I was like, "Oh,
Wow,
yeah."
so that guy's kind of in the middle then. That guy's like,
Yeah. Well, and
He also watched the whole show with his mask on. He had like the entire show. Most people took their mask off for the show, and then they'd put their mask back on. He had his whole thing. He was
how
all bummed.
brave is that guy though? Think about that. Like if in your head that's where you are fear wise,
Right,
and
why
then
do
you
it?
go to a place, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna rough it out.
Yeah, I'll make myself do this.
yeah,
It's my wife's birthday. Yeah.
And like I said, if you want to stay home, I'm not gonna make fun of anyone for wanting to stay home. Like, stay home, it's fine. But then if someone wants to go out and be responsible, and it's like, yeah, if you're if you're walking up to people and strangers and spitting on them or licking their faces, okay, you're kind of a dick. But if everyone's kind of like playing their part and doing their thing, okay, we can start coming back to what we had before.
Well, some people are making it sound like just by leaving your home at any time to do anything, you're a part of the problem. Like you must be some Republican crazy person who thinks this virus isn't real. It's like, no, there's ways to go about your life and try to earn some money and try to like have your job or try to maintain groceries. There's ways that you can go do your life.
Yeah. Oh no,
safely.
Right. And responsibly. Like
not
that's the biggest thing.
Not as what it was, but
it's like, are people being responsible? Yeah.
Yeah. I had someone yell at me in my neighborhood for taking my dog for a walk because I didn't have my mask on. It's like, no one walks towards us. No one does anything. I'm taking my dog for a walk like that, and I have an 80-pound pit bull. I need to be able to breathe and have some oxygen to hold this fucker back. Like this dude is
I'd
huge.
pay to watch you walk your dog.
Dude, one time
I should sell tickets to just me walking my dog. And just go, it's a midget walking a pit bull.
Yeah, 'cause it's just so cool.
on an OnlyFans, I'd watch that.
I'd watch that.
So what else was there like from the shows? I'm trying to think like after the show, like did the energy feel the same like in the room during the show?
Yeah, but more. I thought more just because everyone was just so excited to be out. Like, and there were lines that I would say that I would thought like, all right, this is kind of a throwaway line and just something casual, and that it would get a reaction where I'm like, oh shit,
it felt like a full room for
sure.
Really,
like
that's awesome.
I wrote a real basic joke about how like when the virus happened, every company had to put out their coronavirus commercial.
Oh yeah,
where they're just like, you know, every commercial right now starts off like,
we're gonna get through this.
Yeah, like we get that in trying times, and all I said was like, we don't need every company's response to coronavirus, and there was a cheer in the room, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, it's true though.
Okay,
people feel that way.
Yeah, it's like I get it. AT&T insurance, let me know what you're doing to lower my rates or whatever, but there's literally a commercial from Oreo fucking cookie.
Yeah, I was getting emails from like Wells Fargo like, don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about you.
You're a bank. You'll be fine.
You're always behind glass.
We're fine, yeah. Don't worry, our ATMs are clean, and it's like
so weird.
Yeah, so like stuff
Earth
like
Bar
that.
Sending me figures.
Yeah, it's like Coca-Cola is like, here's what we're doing. It's like, no, you're making sugar water. That's what you're doing. It's fine.
No, I will say the thing I was most nervous about, and again, this is selfish, I just thought I might be rusty. Because this is the longest I've ever gone without doing stand-up for 15 years. So I was
3 months or whatever it was.
I was afraid I'd be rusty. But them being so generous, and then also I realized I wasn't that rusty. Like I felt rusty on that virtual show.
Did it feel weird? Yeah. Did it feel weird going back into because like if I were to get back on stage, I'm like I have some new stuff I would kind of do, but otherwise it's like
you got to change all the bits. And I'll tell you, just in the verbiage. So I usually get up there and I go, just got back from Mexico, so I can go to all my Mexico stuff.
Right.
I can't say it. I can't. Or like if I want to make a joke about something that happened between me and a girl, I'll usually lie and be like, I took this girl on a date like the other day or like last week or something. Yeah. But now
can't say that.
Yeah. So I had to be like, I remember. God, I think it was last year I took this girl out on a date.
Yeah.
But even that little adjustment was hard to do. Like, and it feels so dishonest and like so. But like they know I haven't been doing anything.
Right. Yeah. There's a bit I do about how like I'm. It's something that my neighbor said to me because I'm never home. I'm always traveling.
Oh, yeah.
So then my neighbor saw me in front of my house and then said something to me like I didn't live in my house.
Right.
It's like I can't do that
bit
right now.
That bit won't work. Yeah.
No, it's because it's like no. I've been home for 3 months. They know me now.
I would start jokes. Like I would start a joke and then go, I got to change that start. Like that quick math you do in your head.
Right. Like, that's not gonna work.
Yeah. And only a comic would notice, or only like quickly shift it.